these sensations, you got to drop from the neck down and process it in the body. And that's exactly what Anne was guiding me in doing when she taught me how to slither. I wanted you to have the benefit of hearing Anne explain exactly why she taught me this technique and how it was working to break apart all the frozen and stuck experiences in my body and set me free. Let's take a listen.
The best way to work with a symptom, a somatic symptom like this, is to join with it, turn towards it, amplify it. When you did so, the residue shifted from frozen to thawing to fluidity. Your nervous system shifted from a state of distress to neutral and then to calm. I prompted you to join with the feeling of dread and imagine if it could move. How would it move? Would it slither? Let your body slither out of bed, onto the floor, move slowly. Notice how the dread wants to move. Let the dread lead the movement. Slithering is the tool you use to transform the trauma residue. Your body now is more likely to associate a sense of well-being and safety when awakening to a new day. And when it doesn't, you know how to shift that feeling.
So I know you're going to have a lot of questions. Let me just cover some of the ones I get all the time. You're probably thinking, when do I use this? Well, I use this technique anytime there's a morning where I just wake up and it just feels like too much to bear. Pull out the slither and you're going to feel better. And by the way, you can also use this on the couch. So if you're sitting on the couch and you feel that heaviness hit and you can't seem to get yourself off the couch, just slide right off, slither on the floor, crawl to the doorway of that room, and trust me, you will break apart that feeling. It's pretty unreal how this works. Another question that you may have is related to, what if you have a really hard time actually feeling what you're feeling and dropping into your body? I can relate to this, especially since I've spent decades running away from this heaviness and this sensation. And so it can be really scary. But here's what I have found. The second that you literally just start small, just slide your leg down and out underneath the sheets, and gravity kind of takes over. And what you'll find if you're willing to just try this is that you do have more power than you think. The reason why these sensations are so scary is because you don't know what to do with them. And they've been there a long time. And so part of my fear was, is this really what my life is? Is this what every morning is going to be? Because this is what it's always felt like. And you'll quickly realize as you're writhing around on the ground and rolling around, and then you roll up to your hands and your knees, whoa, this feeling is shifting. It's weird, but it's shifting. And the more that you do this, the more comfortable you're going to become. And look, I was really scared at this point in my life. I didn't want to feel this way. I didn't want to wake up on edge and so anxious. And the thing that shocked me is simply trying this made me feel so empowered. It made me feel like these sensations were no longer going to rule my life, and they don't. Another thing that comes up a lot, what if you're in a bed that's really high up, or you don't want to risk falling out of the bed because it's high on the floor? No problem. Just get the leg out first and just kind of inch so that you're sort of laying there and the leg is straight. And then you get the other leg out and you can go from a half sit to a lying down to using your arm. It's okay. There's no right way to do this. Just get yourself eventually on the floor so that you're laying down on the floor. That's the important part. And then the feeling your whole body on the floor and starting to move and roll around, that starts to shake up this heaviness. It's super cool. What if you have a dog? I mean, Mr. Noodle is still sitting here on the bed sleeping next to me. He does not care if I'm slithering or crawling because he had a late night out hunting chipmunks, okay? So he's just sleeping. A dog? Fantastic. Because what happens is as you're on the floor, if your dog comes over and starts licking you and then they follow you and you're crawling down the floor and they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You don't feel so alone. It actually kind of makes you laugh a little, and the laughter and the added kind of fun of an animal being there shakes up all this sensation even faster. At least that's what I found when my dogs, Homie and YOLO, would come and crawl along with me to the bathroom. You may be wondering, is this something you can teach to your kids? Absolutely. It's a fantastic technique to teach to a child who has anxiety, who has trouble getting out of bed, who may have a lot going on that they're nervous about, and they wake up and don't want to get out of bed because it's something that you can do. You can accomplish this even on the mornings when things just feel really hard. And the best part about this is you're not correcting your kid. You're not pushing them. You are helping them move with the feeling, and you can do it with them. You can climb into bed and be like, let's slither out of bed today. Let's take that heaviness that you feel, which validates it, by the way, and let's use our bodies to move through it and shake it up. And we're going to crawl together. And when you feel ready, and this is the most important part that Anne would say to me, when you feel ready, you can go from crawling to standing up. And, I said that I used this for 6 weeks straight, and it just broke apart everything that was in my body. But it only took me about a week or two to get to the point where I could crawl 3 or 4 crawl steps. I don't even know what the technical word is for it when you're on your hands and knees. And I was ready. I was ready to stand up and walk down the hall to the bathroom. And honestly, that was a huge victory. The fact that I was ready 8 crawls before I had been the week before was evidence that this was working. And I was slowly but surely chipping away at this tar sensation and this heaviness that had held me hostage for so long. And it kept progressing like this, that eventually all I needed to do was roll on the floor, and then I was standing up. And eventually all I needed to do was put a leg out. And did I need to slide down? Not really. As I was sliding, I'm like, oh, I feel free. I can do it. And so you'll see that this works in magical ways because your body is designed to do this for you. And one more thing, don't get back in bed. No matter what, don't get back in bed. In fact, one of my habits is as soon as I get out of the bed, as long as I'm not slithering and crawling, I make the bed right away. And that's an important thing because once you get up and you get going and you move through this, you can keep going. And it's going to help you move forward in your life. And if you're disabled in any way, and physically this is an impossibility, I'd highly recommend that you take this information to your physical therapist or to a nurse or doctor or somebody that is supporting you and ask them how you can use a somatic technique, which is simply joining in with the heavy feeling instead of avoiding it and moving with it. And I am certain that there are ways that this technique can be adapted no matter what you're facing or what limitations your disability may create in terms of the physical nature of sliding out of a bed. I really wanted to leave you empowered. And so I asked Anne for guidance on how you can best set yourself up to get the best benefit from this somatic technique. And this is what Anne had to say.
Now, how can someone who isn't in therapy with a counselor who is trained in somatic inquiry benefit from this approach to healing? You can incorporate it into your self-care routine. Ask yourself, where am I feeling friction right now in my life? Is this a reoccurring feeling? Turn towards the feeling by closing your eyes and notice what it feels like and where you feel it in your body. Then ask yourself, if this feeling could move, how would it move? For the next few minutes, allow the feeling to move you. You can do this in a quiet space or turn on music that will inspire your movement. When you're complete, check back in with your body and notice what has shifted. The benefits of a movement practice help us to free the body from stress that often we don't realize we are carrying. Less stress leads to greater physical vitality and wellness, and we could certainly all use more of that.
And you know what else we could use more of? Anne Davin. Anne, I love you. Thank you again for helping me share this life-changing somatic technique. And to you, I want to be sure to tell you, in case no one else does, I love you and I believe in you. And I believe in your ability to create a better life. And sometimes that means you and I need to try some weird stuff, like slithering out of the bed and crawling down the floor so that we can get our power back. You deserve that. And I cannot wait to hear what you experience when you try this. I can't wait to see your social media posts about this. And you know what else I can't wait for? I cannot wait to be together with you again in the very next episode. I'll see you soon. You know what else? I cannot wait to see you in the very next video. Thank you so much for being here with me on YouTube. I love that you made it all the way to the end. And so did Mr. Noodle. Like, we knocked him out, for crying out loud. He is down for the count. There's one thing that I would love to ask of you. I know you're the kind of person that likes supporting the people that support you. And a way that you could support me is hit the subscribe button. It's how I know and our team knows that you love these videos that we're creating for you every single day. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for trying this technique. Thank you for sharing this technique with people that you love, because it'll make a huge difference for them. And I know you're wondering, okay, Mel, this was amazing. What should I watch next? You should check out this video next. You're going to love it.